If you're a commercial loan broker who's stuck between 200,000 and 500,000 in annual revenue, this video is either going to make you uncomfortable or make you rich. Because I'm about to show you why 90% of brokers get stuck at their own personal growth ceiling and the 4-pillar system that separates 6-figure strugglers from the 7-figure powerhouses. Give me the next 15 minutes and I'll show you why your current approach could be sabotaging your growth and exactly how to fix it. So many people don't realize that there's an enormous opportunity in this industry. The commercial lending market is worth $2.5 trillion annually. And top firms like Newmark are doing over 48 billion in originations. And brokers like Steve Pollock over at Anchor Loans are generating over 1.2 billion in revenue with just 150 team members. But the truth is that most brokers are stuck in what we often refer to as the founder's prison. They're working 60-hour weeks, they're personally touching each and every deal, and they're wondering why they can't scale past their personal capacity. So today, I'm going to show you the exact 4-pillar evolution system that transforms struggling brokers into true business builders. And this isn't theory, this is the proven framework that is working right now for brokerages around the country to help them move from self-employed loan officers to building real businesses. So let's talk about how a broker gets stuck. You launched your brokerage and you did that because you're good at what you do, most likely. You can spot a good deal from a mile away. You know how to qualify clients. You've built strong relationships with lenders, and those are all incredible strengths. But here's the problem. Every single one of those strengths is you dependent. Your business doesn't have systems, it has you. It doesn't have processes, it has your intuition. It doesn't have a team, it has your helpers who need your constant direction. And when you think about what happens when you go on vacation, or if you're sick, or if you take a day off out of the office, you dependent businesses have a hard ceiling. That's the ceiling where your personal capacity, your energy, your time, your attention are limited. No matter how talented you are, you can't move past what you can personally handle in a 24-hour period. And the brokers who break through, they are making one critical shift. They are evolving from founder-led to systems-led operations. They stop being the business and they start building the business. And this evolution happens across 4 critical pillars. And here's what's crucial. You can't cherry pick and do just one of them. They all work together like gears in an engine. If you miss one, the whole system falls apart. Pillar 1 is systems. This is documenting and standardizing everything that you do. Pillar 2 is your team. That's the strategic hiring and the organizational structure. Pillar 3 is marketing, evolving from just personal networks to systematic lead generation. And pillar 4 is structure, optimizing your legal, your physical, your operational foundations. So let's start with pillar 1, systems, because this impacts all of the other pillars significantly. And too often we see brokers thinking that they need to just hire people, hire first, and then they'll figure out what each of those people should do. But that's backwards and it's expensive. So here's the truth. If you document first and delegate second, everything works better. Every process that lives up here in your head needs to live on paper, or better yet, in a digital system where you can easily share it, measure it, track it, improve it. I'm talking about your qualification process, your packaging methodology, your outreach sequence, your follow-up protocols, all of that. And when you think about right now, when a potential client calls your firm, what happens? Right? You probably ask them some questions, you get a feel for their deal, you make a judgment call about whether to move forward, and you already know what lenders might be a good fit, and that's fine when it's just you. But what happens when you want someone else to handle all of those calls? If you can't hand someone a checklist and say, here's exactly how to qualify a client, here's the questions to ask, here's the red flags to watch for, here's how to determine if we can help them or not, then you don't have a system. Without that, you just have dependency on you and your skills and your knowledge. So standard operating procedures, SOPs, they're not just fancy documents. They're your path to freedom. They're what actually allows you to delegate without losing quality. They're what allows you to scale without chaos. And when you have documented systems, these things happen. First, you're going to be able to train people. Second, you're going to be able to maintain quality even when you're not personally doing the work. And third, you're going to be able to identify bottlenecks and resolve those by optimizing processes. So if you build feedback loops into these systems, right, regular check-ins, performance reviews, KPIs, process requirements, all of these things allow your systems to get better and better over time. Undocumented processes are those that live in your head, and businesses that live in the head of a founder can't scale. So document everything, create strong SOPs, and then that positions you for pillar 2, which is evolving your team. So let's talk about team evolution, because this is where the magic really starts to happen. Your documented systems are not valuable unless you have the right person to go ahead and execute the system. So team evolution is going to follow a strong path. Step 1, you're a single person, you're doing everything and you're getting those SOPs. And then you usually, step 2, hire your first BDO or your salesperson. Very often this is 1099, commission only. And you start to grow a small team of producers from there. And then stage 3, you start to create more specialized internal roles to address your bottlenecks, whether that's helping with in-house processing support or something else. And stage 4, you're then evolving to a managerial system. And then stage 5, you're building entire departments, right? So most brokers are going to skip some of those stages, right? They go from having no one to, great, I'll hire 5 people and bring them all on board all at once, right? Your hiring flow, though, should really support what is your current bottleneck, right? Do you need more deal flow? Focus on BDOs. Are you spending too much time in underwriting tasks? Then hire a virtual assistant or someone to help with package coordination and processing, right? Hire a loan processor. But along the way, don't hire generalists. Focus on hiring specialists. You don't want help. You want people who can help you with specific problems and bottlenecks in your business. And for all that's profitable, go ahead and create detailed job descriptions, do good interviews, check references, and test for cultural fit as much as skills fit, right? Don't hire someone just because you've heard they need a job. That's charity, right? Your team members need to add value into your business, not just fill seats. And when you do hire, that's when you plug them into those SOPs that you created, right? You don't expect them to figure it out or do shadowing as onboarding. Give them those documented systems, measurable outcomes that they're targeting. And then as you grow, your team structure is going to evolve, right? So first you get your individual contributors, and then from there, you start to bring from them leads who can manage a group of people doing their role. And along the way, every person that you hire should make your business stronger, not just bigger. Focus on quality over quantity, procedures before hiring. And this positions you for pillar number 3, your marketing evolution. And excellence in marketing allows you to scale everything else exponentially. So this component is absolutely critical for strong, stable growth. So if you look back on how you got started as a brokerage, most likely it began with your personal network, your relationships, the people you know, your reputation in the local market. And those are all really valuable assets. But personal networks have limits. Right? Referrals are unpredictable, and local reputation can only take you so far. So if you want to scale, you need systematic lead generation. And when you look at the numbers, the top commercial lending firms aren't relying on the founder's LinkedIn connections, right? They're investing in brand differentiation. They're building strategic partnerships. They're creating systematic marketing processes that they follow day in and day out. So here's what this looks like. Stage one is going to be your personal network, right? It's everyone you know in your market. And then you grow to stage two, which is really referral optimization, your systemization of how you get and nurture a larger and larger referral network. And you want to build strategic partnerships here that are multiplying your reach. You want to partner with CPAs who work with businesses who need capital, partner with real estate agents and bankers, partner with business consultants who work with growing companies, and you create a formal referral system, right? And with that, you offer commission structure, you track where your leads are coming from, you measure what's working and what isn't, and you double down on what works. And then you move on to stage three, where you're really doing content marketing and becoming a thought leader in this space. And this is about positioning yourself as the go-to expert for commercial lending in your market, in your niche, right? Being there to answer people's questions, videos that explain complex ideas and programs, speaking engagements at industry events. And then stage four is going to be taking this and automating it as lead generation, right? You want to be at the place when a business owner searches for commercial lending advice, that your content should be the first thing they see, whether that's because of SEO, PPC, or email marketing. And then when they're ready to apply for a loan, you're the first person that they think of. And eventually you want those systems to be working while you sleep, right? Email marketing sequences that are constantly nurturing your network. SEO optimized pages, that paid advertising that's targeting just your ideal clients. And along the way, having a network of people who call you when they need capital is great. But that's the starting place, right? That's just your first phase. You then want to build those referral systems, and then you want to go into content marketing, and then you want to really focus on full scale automation. And that brings us to the fourth pillar, evolving your company structure. And this is a foundational component that either supports your growth or constrains it. And here we're talking about your legal structure, your physical space, your technological stack, your tech stack, your operational systems, your financial setup, the structures that undergird your company. So let's roll through those one by one. Your legal structure needs to grow with your business. If you started as a sole proprietorship, you might need to transition into an LLC or a C Corp. Often, folks will move from an LLC as a pass-through entity for taxes to electing as an S Corp to eventually becoming a C Corp. And if you're thinking about bringing in partners or investors, your structure might need to evolve differently. Right? Some brokers even transition from brokerage to direct lenders as they grow. That's a completely different legal and operational structure there, but it can be incredibly profitable if done right. And your tech stack is your operational backbone in today's market. Your CRM systems that track every lead and client interaction, your project management tools that keep the deals flowing, oversee your pipeline, your document management systems that organize everything and encrypt it all. Here's what I see. Brokers often are trying to run $1 million operations, but they have a spreadsheet and they have email. That's kind of like trying to run a restaurant with a camping stove. It works, but it's not really scalable. And with this, security isn't optional, right? You are fundamentally handling sensitive financial information. So you need that encrypted document storage, secure communication channels, and regular audits. Right? One data breach can destroy years of reputation building. And compliance here isn't just about following the rules, it's about protecting your business and your clients, right? You're fundamentally protecting your livelihood here. So by staying up to date on current tech options, regulations, all of this, and having legal counsel and speed dial really structures you well. And your physical space is another key part of the structures that support your team and your operations. Maybe you started off oftentimes working from a home office. And then you rent a small office. As you grow, you might need multiple locations or different types of space. But here's the key: the structure should enable growth, not constrain it, and also shouldn't predetermine it. So you're planning ahead to marry the two. And you're actively evolving your company's structure and your physical space together. And I get it, this transformation, all of these moving components can't happen overnight, right? Evolution is continuous. It surges, it plateaus, but the brokers who commit to the process, they build businesses that scale, that compete with the big players in the market, and eventually run without any constraint of the broker's presence. So here's your homework. Identify your current bottlenecks and which one is having the largest impact. Systems, team, marketing, structures, pick one. Start there. Don't try to fix everything at once, just one. Maybe you're just creating some additional SOPs this week, or you're outlining a new role for your team, or you're optimizing one aspect of your marketing or your business structure. And remember what I said at the beginning: there are no silver bullets in this situation, right? Success is going to require leads, knowledge, lenders, tools, coaching along the way, all of them working together. And what I've given you today is a system for leveling up the different constraints on business growth all at one time. And the people who follow this process, that master the fundamentals and execute consistently, position themselves to scale. So if you want the complete roadmap, the tools, the templates, the coaching to accelerate this evolution, check out the Commercial Loan Broker Institute. In the description down below, we have a link to our guide on evolving a brokerage that gives you much more information on each of these different pillars and how to execute them when scaling. Because the truth is that you can figure this out on your own through trial and error over the next 5 years. Or you can leverage proven systems and experienced mentorship to compress that timeline down into months. And the choice is yours, but the market isn't waiting. Your competitors aren't waiting. Your growth ceiling isn't going to magically disappear. So go out, get active, and start optimizing. Hit subscribe if you found this valuable. We've got more industry strategies, case studies, practical frameworks coming your way. And remember, evolution never stops. The question isn't whether you are staying still, it's whether you are growing or getting left behind. Those are your two options. And which of those will be your future depends on how you approach scaling your brokerage. So go ahead, get started, tackle one aspect for this week, jot it down, and get started now. Your future self will thank you.